everything to keep the community safe is sadly something our finest understand only too well.
You don't know sometimes whether your loved one's coming home or not because it's such a stressful and dangerous job.
That reality makes police legacy so important.
New South Wales Police Legacy are there to step in when the ultimate sacrifice is made and the worst happens to one of us.
Helping raise money to finance that ongoing effort, more than 130 officers and civilians from Newcastle and Lake Macquarie today completed a 5-kilometre fun run along the foreshore.
When you look at the runners, they're from all parts of the community. We had police officers, we had community members, fun groups. It's about both of our communities showing just the strong support for their local police.
As for who was the fastest officer, that's still under investigation.
Results speak louder than words, and I absolutely thrashed him in the race.
I'm not going to say he cheated at all, but he took off fairly quickly.
Top brass hope to grow the annual event, Lake Macquarie to host next year. Sam Burberry, NBN News.
Still to come, a $500,000 reward offered to help solve a horrific sex attack on a new mum.
See, battery's completely flat.
Guess what? We're going to have to get rid of it.
Oh, no.
Need an excuse to upgrade? Welcome to Toyotathon. There's amazing offers on a great range of vehicles. You're thinking sporty, stylish?
Sporty. Stylish.
How about both?
Get the CHR 2-wheel drive from just $39.90 drive away, plus a $500 Toyotathon bonus. Search Toyota value. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
I work hard for my money, and that's why I'm happy that being with Australian Super feels more like I'm in a circle than a super fund. A circle with more than 2.2 million other Australians, all powering our futures together. And it's my small, simple actions along the way, combined with the expert help I get, that throws my money in ways I never could alone. I like how it fits in here.
It's Australian, it's super, and it's yours.
Deliver a package to here, mile 22.
You have no idea how eager my government is.
You're chaos. I think I might be worse.
Mile 22.
This is the face of fresh. It shows the hours and dedication. Rising at the crack of dawn, day after day, to make sure your bread is a whole lot fresher than our bakers.
Hey, we just won Insurer of the Year! Again!
Money Magazine's back-to-back Insurer of the Year. Get more with Budget Direct.
Bet Easy is everything we loved about CrownBet and William Hill, but bigger and better. More rewards, more offers, and even more markets.
But don't take our word for it.
Download the Bet Easy app now and experience it for yourself.
Take note. The Optus network gives you more coverage in more places than ever before. Get the latest smartphone on our best network ever.
Lombok has been hit by 2 strong earthquakes, triggering dangerous landslides. Clouds of dust and debris could be seen thundering down steep hillsides on the north of the Indonesian island. Lombok is still trying to recover after a magnitude 7 earthquake killed 460 people earlier this month. He's been described by world leaders as a guiding force for good, a remarkable person who pursued a better world. Kofi Annan, the first black African to serve as United Nations Secretary General, has died aged 80. Born in Ghana and spending some of his college years in the United States, Kofi Annan joined the United Nations at age 26. Rose through the ranks, sworn in as Secretary General in 1997.
I, Kofi Annan. I, Kofi Annan.
Where he served 10 years at the helm. While his charm and style made him a household name, it was a decade marked by global uncertainty and bloodshed. In 1998, Kofi Annan travelled to Baghdad to negotiate with Saddam Hussein over weapons inspections. Months after September 11, he and the UN organisation were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
We have entered the third millennium through a gate of fire.
He tried but failed to stop the US-led invasion of Iraq, calling it his darkest hour.
I really did everything I can to try to see if we can stop it.
While he listed his top achievements as the promotion of human rights and fighting to close the gap between rich and poor, one of his career lows was before he took the helm. In 1994, Annan was the head of UN peacekeeping operations during the Rwandan genocide. He was accused of failing to act, and it was a lesson he took with him to the top job.
I believed at that time that I was doing my best. But I realized after the genocide that there was more that I could and should have done.
Kofi Annan served until the end in Zimbabwe for the presidential elections last month. At his 79th birthday last year, he was serenaded by Bono.
Kofi, happy birthday.
And after a short illness, died peacefully in Switzerland. He was 80. Lizzie Pearl, NBN News. The company behind the deadly bridge collapse in Italy says it will take just 8 months to rebuild the structure. 43 people were killed when the bridge came down in Genoa earlier this week. The company has put aside $780 million to replace it. Bags of food and clothing have been dropped across flood-stricken Kerala in India. Families waded through muddy water to grab the essentials after torrential rain and landslides decimated the region. At least 324 people have been killed, with more than 2 million people forced to move into emergency shelters. A young Melbourne mother, brutally assaulted by a vile sex predator, has made a brave public appeal, begging people to help catch her attacker. 5 years on from the sickening crime, police are offering $500,000 for information that puts the perpetrator away.
Mum Chloe was raped 7 weeks after giving birth to her first child.
As much as it damaged me, I think it damaged me and my son's relationship.
Broken but bravely speaking out, the 27-year-old wants you to see what this man did to her as she walked home from a night out with friends. The pictures are confronting, but they were Chloe's reality after she was bashed and raped in a North Melbourne alleyway on June 30, 2013.
Well, it destroyed me for a really long time, I think. I was a new mum. I couldn't be the mum that I wanted to be because I was dealing with this.
Chloe's rapist is still out there. Police so desperate to catch him, they've reenacted the night of her attack to help jog memories and offered $500,000 as a reward for valuable information.
You coming over, mate?
God, leave me alone.
We're extremely close and we just need a little bit more information from certain parts of the community.
Particularly from 4 men Chloe possibly passed as she avoided her offender.
He's somebody that we need to get off the street.
You should be allowed to walk where you want to walk. You should be able to do what you want to do. You shouldn't have to fear for your life or fear that someone's going to follow you and do something like that to you.
Addiction to prescription medication is an even more deadlier problem in Australia than illegal drugs, and addicts will do almost anything they can to get their hands on medication. Pharmacists are now calling on real-time monitoring to help identify abusers, and they don't want to wait any longer.
They're supposed to be the things that ease our pain and make us better, but prescription drugs have a dark side.
This is a public health emergency.
750,000 Australians are currently addicted or dependent on opioids, and every year the misuse of those prescription drugs is killing 600 people. Last year, deaths from prescription medications overtook illicit drug overdoses, and oxycodone and benzodiazepines are the worst offenders. Pharmacists are our line of defence, doing their best to help abusers.
However, if people are doctor shopping and moving around, we can't identify them.
The solution is real-time monitoring, using a database that lets pharmacies and GPs share prescription histories.